Shalom, I'm Rabbi Michael Panitz. I'm the rabbi of Temple Israel of Norfolk, Virginia, and I'm speaking to you from the pulpit of our synagogue. This message is for the Jewish festival of Tu B'Shvat, the New Year for trees, and it is entitled, Land That I Love. Two facts explain the truth that everywhere people love the unspoiled beauty of their native land. First, God has created a beautiful world. And second, we are nostalgic for that which is our own. Mount Fuji for the Japanese, the woods and fields of Bohemia for Czechs, the 40 shades of green of their Emerald Isle for the Irish. These are typical of every nation's sense of its own superior beauty. A Slovenian tour guide working with the local Hebrew Academy's middle school students on tour in Hungary told them that her native land was the most beautiful of all. We Americans are part of this same wave. We sing about our purple mountains' majesty, our redwood forests, and the beautiful vistas from coast to coast and halfway through the Pacific. The emotional resonance of the beauty of our native land is increased when, along with conquest, our country has suffered despoliation. Andres Bonifacio, the late 19th century architect of Philippine resistance to Spanish colonialism, wrote this poetic lament for his homeland, translated from the Tagalog. The times gone by of gladness, and the day to come that we sigh for, when the yoke shall be taken from us, what are they but dreams of the patriot? And every tree and branchlet of its woods and its laughing meadows bring back to the mind and memory of the mother and past days of gladness. Its crystalline, cooling waters that flow from the springs in the mountains, the soft murmur of swift current, are balm to the heart that is drooping. Unhappy the exile from his country, his mind full of sad recollections is haunted by anxious longing for the land where stood his cradle. The Jewish people know all this and more. Repeatedly, we've been exiled from Israel, our forever homeland, and repeatedly the land has been devastated. By the dawn of the modern Zionist movement, 125 years ago, the land of Israel was largely desolate, denuded, treeless hillside, pestilential swamp, and desert wasteland were the scars of the violence perpetrated by nation after nation of invader and conqueror. In the Passover song, we symbolize the aggressors as the cat, the dog, the stick, the fire, the water, the ox, the slaughterer, and the angel of death. Each one destroyed its predecessor, and the Jewish people were victims of them all. And so was our land. Yet it remained holy in our eyes. The medieval poet Judah Halevi sang in his Ode to Zion, "Would I might be wandering in the places where God was revealed unto thy seers and messengers. Oh, who will make me wings that I may fly afar, and lay the ruins of my cleft heart among thy broken cliffs? I would fall with my face upon thine earth, and take delight in thy stones, and be tender to thy dust." The Zionist pioneers of the late 19th and early 20th centuries understood that theirs was the mission to heal the land itself, and themselves to be healed by their efforts. while planting forests, draining swamps, breaking rocks to lay down roads, they sang, Anu banu arza, livnot ulhibanot ba. We have come to the land to build it, and ourselves to be rebuilt in it. A renewed land, a renewed people. A land where the cypress trees reach straight and tall to the sky, and the Jew stands with straight back once again, able to look at the world, not grovel before it. There was a religious quality to this ideology of purposeful toil. The pioneer poet Avraham Shlonsky gave voice to that dimension of labor Zionism. Dress me, good mother, in the splendorous coat of many colors, and with dawn lead me to toil. My land wraps in light like a prayer shawl. Houses stand like phylacteries, and like bands of phylacteries glide hand-laid asphalt roads. Thus, a beautiful city offers her morning prayer to her Creator. And among the creators, your son Abraham, poet, road builder in Israel. That early 20th century generation witnessed a new development in the age-old holiday of Tu B'Shvat, the 15th day of the Hebrew month of Shevat, the Jewish Arbor Day. Originally, the date was simply a marker for the determination of when, in accordance with Jewish law, a tree was mature enough to be harvested. In the Middle Ages, Jewish mystics invested the date with added religious significance, inventing the Seder for Tu B'Shvat, in which the celebrants partook of different kinds of fruit associated with the land of Israel, reciting the appropriate benedictions and seeking to cleave to God all the more closely. But the Zionist movement turned Jewish Arbor Day into a holiday celebrating the reclamation of the Holy Land. There are other dimensions to Jewish Arbor Day. For the past half-century, Jews have explored the ecological message of the day. That remains important, and we should proclaim it, especially given the environmental crisis that humans' imprudent behavior has triggered. Ever since the oak of Mamre associated with Abraham 3,500 years ago, the story of the Jewish people has been associated with the trees of the Holy Land. Today, with Israel exposed to hatred as never before, it is important for us to use the opportunity provided by Tu B'Shvat to get beyond the headlines and reassert what is permanently true: that Israel is our national home, that our connection to the land itself is part of our spirituality, that our people and that our nation, the people that waited for its land, have healed the land of Israel, the land that waited for its people.